All right, let's get right to tying. I'm just gonna tie up here. This is a Maday Mayfly from Gilbert Rowley. This is a great pattern. I really like the body on this fly. Uh, you'll see that in a little bit, what makes it so great. But we're just gonna start off with getting our thread on the hook. Come back to the back. There we go. Back here at the back, we'll just tie in our CDL tail. So this starts out fairly standard Euro style. You can just get those tail fibers about like that to the length that you enjoy for your tails. I can tie in our ribbing. This is just some small hot orange wire. I like to kind of stick the tag into that wire into the slot on that bead and then come down on the side of the hook. Advance our thread again all the way almost behind the bead. And now we'll tie in the body of this fly. And this is just going to be some holographic tinsel. And that's what I really like about this fly. Here I'm using a large size. I really like how large wraps, just to be careful here at the back of the fly that you don't go too far back with how uh, that first wrap can be a little bit wide. I really like how this holographic tinsel looks, especially once you get some coating of UV resin on it. It kind of mutes the color slightly, but you really do get a really nice flash body. And since we're going for a mayfly, this brown colored holographic tinsel really gives you that flash, but actually does keep it somewhat natural. As natural as you can keep it with holographic tinsel, I guess you could say. That trimmed out, we can just kind of counter rib with our wire. This hot orange wire on this brown holographic tinsel really, I think, is a really nice color combination. Just enough contrast, but it's also not super crazy in your face with that contrast. So now I can just hold everything tight, helicopter that wire out of there. And then here's where just a really thin coating of Solares Bone Dry or your favorite thin UV resin, even thinner than thin if possible. Just going to help that wire from sliding around on that holographic tinsel because that can be a very slick surface. I like going around. This is almost a dry brush. Just puts enough of a coating on there to hold everything together. Hit it with the light, the UV light. You can see how that kind of just mutes all of the flash and everything. I think it gives this a really, really nice body on this nymph. Still a lot of flash there, but just takes it down a notch, which is pretty great. I like to get a few wraps that are UV resin free there for the next part, and that's just putting a thorax on it. And this is just some spiky squirrel and some dark brown. Don't need a ton of it. Just want a little bit of dubbing for a thorax back here. This is kind of in a style like a Frenchie, but instead of having the flash be in the ice dub thorax, it's in the body. And now you have a more natural thorax, where the Frenchie has a more natural body. So get a nice little whip finish there. Have a little bit of a hot spot collar on this. So if you want, you can do a second whip finish. And you can also put some UV resin there. You can UV resin on that whip finish or super glue. Trim some of those long fibers, or you can let them get nice and buggy. But that is the Maday Mayfly. It's an amazing pattern. Just something a little bit different than everything else that's in my fly box, at least. Tie them up in a whole bunch of sizes from 14 to 20. Thanks for watching.